Stretch and Flow Yoga. My name is Bridget from Lucky Elephant Yoga and Wellness, and I will be guiding you through the practice today. So Stretch and Flow is all about moving and breathing. It's about moving our joints, it's about stretching our bodies, it's about getting sensation, prana flowing through. And so we use yoga poses, we use stretches, we use breath work to get that prana moving through the body. And so for this practice, what you'll need today is a yoga mat or somewhere, maybe a small or a thin rug or something to practice on. And if you have a couple of yoga blocks, those are great to grab as well. A yoga blanket or a throw blanket, a pillow. If you don't have blocks laying around your house, yoga blocks, you can use makeshift blocks. You can use some rolled up towels, extra pillows, or even some books. Those all work really wonderfully. And then also today we're going to be using a strap. And so if you don't have a yoga strap, don't worry. You can grab a belt, a scarf, a men's necktie. I've seen t-shirts being used. You can use all sorts of things to help kind of makeshift a strap for you today. So we'll need all of those things to kind of help maximize our practice today. But if you're missing any of them, don't worry, you can absolutely do this practice without them. And then we also just need to remember our minds, our bodies, and our breath, and how we practice yoga with mindfulness, right? We talk about practicing mindfulness itself, but yoga allows us to learn mindfulness. It allows us to teach the mind, teach the body how to connect and how to take care. So that includes listening to your body and noticing when something feels too much, and also when something feels not enough. And that not enough is not because of ego or mind thought, but it's about the physical sensation of the body. So just listen today during this practice and see if you can notice the places where you need to pull back a little bit more, places where you feel good and available to breathe a little bit deeper into, all right? And so today we're actually going to start the practice on our backs. So you can make your way onto your back, and you can just, listen to the sound of my voice, and I'll guide you through the practice. But if you need to look at me at any time, I really recommend that you sit up to do it instead of trying to kind of jerk your head around to see me, okay? But I'll try to keep it pretty simple in explanations for you. So we're just going to start with the knees bent and the feet on the mat, and then walk the feet a little wide. Turn your toes in and your heels out just slightly and let the knees fall together. So we're coming into constructive rest position. You can find the back of your head resting on the mat, the shoulders releasing down, and place your hands right onto your belly. And your eyes can close, or you can just find a soft gaze. And start to settle in to the breath. Now we're not adding any technique right now. We're just simply noticing, using that awareness onto our breath. And with your hands on your belly, the sensation of the hands tends to trigger the belly to breathe a little bit more. So you can start to intentionally breathe into the belly. So feeling that rise of the inhale into your hands, and the release and soften of the exhale. We're not trying to bring the belly towards the low back or the navel towards the spine or anything like that. That actually will weaken our back muscles. We just want to let it activate and expand and soften and release. Good. Take one more just like that. Just gonna walk the feet a little closer together so they come about sits bones distance apart. And let the feet turn parallel. So the knees are pointing up towards the sky. Let's release the hands down by your side. And as you inhale, start to carefully press into your feet and begin to lift your hips up off of the mat. Keep looking up at the sky and then exhale, release the hips slowly back down. Good. Again, inhale to lift. And exhale to lower. Awesome. Let's do that one more time, just like that. Inhale to lift. And exhale to lower. Now we're going to add in some arms. So as your hips lift, let the arms begin to float overhead. And as you exhale, release the hips and lower the arms carefully down. Inhale, lift. Arms go overhead. Exhale, hips lower and arms come down, back down. Beautiful. Let's do that one more time. Inhale. And exhale. Very nice. And now just simply press into your left foot and bring your right knee into your chest. Remember, wrap the hands around that right shin and start circling the right knee around into the air. Easy circles, simply just starting to awaken into the hip joint. Let's circle the opposite direction. Good, and now keep a hold of your right knee with your right hand. Release your left hand to your left hip. Right on top of the pelvis, right on top of the hip. And then let your right knee start to open out towards the right shoulder as you let your left knee start to tip to the left. So the left foot is still on the ground, but we're just tipping the whole knee over so that we create this nice weight through the pelvis. And we begin just to open up the right hip just a little deeper. Take a few deep breaths here. Good, and then bring that right knee back into the chest. Bring the left knee to face up. We're going to take a hold of the back of the right thigh and just start to extend the right leg any amount. Remember, this is the beginning of the practice, so a bend in the right knee is absolutely welcome. See if you can keep your shoulders down on the mat. And let's start to circle the right ankle. And then circle the opposite direction. Nice, and now flex through the foot, reaching the ball of the foot and the heel up towards the sky, and then point through the toes, and again, flex through the foot, and point through the toes, and one more time, we flex through the foot, and point through the toes. Awesome, and now flex through the foot, release your arms down by your side. Now as you inhale, let's reach the right leg forward, really pressing through that whole foot, and only go as far as the right leg hovers off of the mat. Then point your toes and lift your leg all the way back up towards the sky. Flex your foot, reach the leg forward just until it hovers. Then point the toes and lift the leg back up. Let's do two more like that. Flex and reach. Point and lift. And again, flex and reach. Keeping the left foot super grounded, point and lift. And now keep the toes pointed up towards the sky. Let's start some circles with the whole right leg. Easy circles. They don't have to be big. They can be small, whatever makes sense for your body today. Good. And let's circle the opposite direction. Nice. And now we'll bring the right knee into the chest again. Take a hold of that right leg, both hands, and then extend your left leg long. Now we're going to keep the left hand onto the right thigh, right knee. Open your right arm out to the side. Big full breath in. As you exhale, let's take the right knee over to the left, keeping that right shoulder grounding down. Good, let's inhale, come back to center. And exhale again, take it over to the left. We're just gonna move into that low back a little bit. Inhale back to center. And one more time, take it over to the left. This time we'll stay here. Feel the right shoulder grounding, and your left hand can rest very gently on the top of that right thigh. Deep, full breaths. Excellent, and now bring that knee back into the chest. Take a hold of the knee and place your right foot down. Good, take a big full breath here. And as you exhale, let's bring the left knee into the chest and really hug that left knee in. From here, you can start circling the left knee around. And circle the opposite direction. Good, and now let's keep the left hand on the left knee. Place your right hand onto your right hip. Start to open your right knee out towards left knee out towards the left shoulder. And then tip your right knee out towards the right, keeping both hips grounded, both shoulders soft. Deep, full breaths in and out. Excellent, and now bring the knees back in and take a hold of the back of your left thigh. Extend that left leg up any amount that makes sense right now, and then we'll start circling the left ankle. Good, and then circle the opposite direction. And then flex and point a few times. And then we'll flex through the foot, release your arms down by your side. Big full breath in to reach the leg forward until it hovers off of the mat. And then point your toes and lift your leg back up towards the sky. Flex your foot, reach the leg forward just until it hovers. And point the toes and lift back up. Good, let's do that 2 more times. Flex and reach. Point and lift. One more time. Flex and reach, and point and lift. Good, and then keep those toes pointed. Really ground through your hands and that right foot, and then circle the left leg around in the air. Good, small or big circles, totally your choice. Awesome, and then circle the opposite direction. Nice. And now let's bring that left knee into the chest. Extend the right leg forward. Good. Keep your right hand on your left knee. Open your left arm out to the side. Take a big full breath in. As you exhale, take the left knee over to the right. Keep that left shoulder grounding. Inhale back to center. Exhale, cross it over. Again, inhale, center. And one more time, cross it over. This time you're going to stay here. The right hand can rest lightly on top of the left thigh, but that left shoulder needs to stay grounding. Good, deep, full breath. Awesome, and now let's bring the left knee back into the chest very carefully. Place that left foot down and place the right foot down beside it. Let's open the arms out to the sides and just windshield wiper your knees from side to side. Just one side and the other. Keep the breath going. Maybe you inhale at center and you exhale over to whatever side. So be begins to become this little meditative movement connected to the breath. Good. And then the next time your knees come back to center, take a pause there. Good. Let's take the strap. And we'll bring the right knee into the chest and hook whatever strap you have, makeshift or yoga style. We're going to hook it to the ball of the right foot. So I want you to make sure that you're not on the bottom of the foot. So this is a good place for you to kind of sit up and look. You can see my right foot. That's the bottom of the foot. I don't want that because I have a sheath of fascia called my plantar fascia that can be a little bit aggravated if you put pressure onto it like that, right? If you've ever had plantar fasciitis, you know that that's no fun. So we want to really be on the ball of the foot. Good, so we can really place pressure without worry. Good, our shoulders stay down. And then it's actually easier. So a lot of people think if I'm way down here, it's easier on me. But actually, it's so much easier on your body to use leverage and extend the elbows. And then we just use the weight of the shoulders. Good, and some just deep, full breaths into the back of that right leg. Excellent. Now take both ends of the strap into your right hand. Place your left hand just down on your left hip. And we're going to start circling the right leg around in the air. Good. Just keeping that movement of the hip going. Good. And now circle the opposite direction. Awesome, and now come back to center. We're going to take still right hand, but extend the arm up. And we're going to open that left knee out to the side once more as we start to take the right leg up towards the right shoulder. So we're taking it out and up on a diagonal. We're not trying to go straight out to the side. We're trying to really stay in a nice, proper support with the pelvis. So the leg comes a little high. And then finally you can extend the left arm out to the side if that makes sense for you. Keeping the left shoulder grounded. Good, a couple of deep breaths here. Awesome, and now let's bring the right leg back to center, left knee points up. Extend your left leg long. Cross your left hand over to the strap and extend your right arm out to the side. Actually, let's take the right thumb and just hook it into the right hip crease. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to take the right leg over only the amount that the left hip can stay grounded. And you're going to get this, maybe you get this sensation all up the right leg. For some people, you feel it in the upper leg. Some people feel it more in the hamstrings. Some feel it way down here, kind of into the outer lower leg, but keep that right hip grounding and let the right thumb really ground the hip. Good, a couple of deep breaths. Awesome, and now let's come back to center. Very carefully bend your knee, release your strap. We're going to cross the right ankle over the left thigh. So that left leg is still extended out. You can place your strap where you can reach it off to the side. Good, both hands can come onto the pelvis to keep the pelvis grounded. And then once you've encouraged the pelvis to ground, you can actually take your arms then overhead. And then start to breathe just into that opening of the hip. Deep breaths. Now let's carefully bend the left knee, keeping the right ankle crossed over. Good. And take a couple of breaths here.
try bringing the left knee all the way into the chest. So you can grab a hold of the back of the left thigh. Try to keep your sits bones reaching towards the opposite end of your mat. So we don't collapse into our low back, but we stay supported onto the sacrum. Deep breaths into that right hip. Carefully release the left foot all the way down to the mat. Uncross your right ankle. Find both feet grounded. Take a big full breath in here. And let it go out your mouth. Awesome. Let's bring the left knee in. Take a hold of that strap. And hook it to the ball of your left foot. And then we'll just extend the leg very carefully up. Keeping the arms extended, making sure, again, we're on the ball of the foot and not on the back, the bottom of the foot, on the fascia. Keep the sits bones again, reaching towards the opposite end of the mat. You don't ever want to flatten out the curve of the low back. So if you're feeling your low back on the mat, then you're probably flattening it out and you're probably tucking the pelvis. Remember a soft bend in the left knee if there's a lot of sensation there today. Deep breaths. Good. Let's take both ends of the strap into the left hand. Right hand can just come onto the right hip, and we're just going to start some circles with the left leg. Try to keep the right knee steady so that it's not flopping around while you're circling. Good, and now let's circle the opposite direction. Reach the left leg up. Extend that left hand high up the strap, as high as comfortable for you. And then we're going to start to take the left leg out on a diagonal up towards the outer shoulder. The right leg starts to tip out, so we keep grounding through the back of the pelvis, through the sacrum. And then your right arm can extend out away. Deep breaths. Bring the leg back to center, right knee points up. Let's cross the right hand over, extend the right leg out, and extend the left arm out to the side. And then we'll take, again, that left thumb and hook it into the left hip this time. Good, big full breath in. Exhale, try to take the left leg over only the amount that you can keep the left hip grounding. Notice where you feel that sensation in the leg. Good, so try not to let the left hip lift at all. Keep it grounding. Deep, full breaths. One more breath here. And then come back to center. Good. Bend that left knee very carefully. Release the strap off to the side. Cross your left ankle over the right thigh. Good. Let's start with the hands on the pelvis, just releasing the pelvis down. And then reach your arms overhead, keeping the shoulders grounded. And take some deep breaths into the left hip. Now let's bend the right knee and see if you can find the right foot onto the mat for just a breath. And now we'll try bringing the right knee in towards the chest, and maybe you take the hands to the back of the right thigh. Once more, try not to flatten out that low back, but keep the sits bones reaching towards the opposite edge of the mat. Deep breaths in and out. One more breath here. And then we can release the right foot down, uncross the left ankle, find both feet grounded, big full breath in, and exhale out the mouth. Good. All right, let's find one of your blocks or a pillow. And you're going to lift the hips up very carefully, slide that block underneath you, lowest height or middle height, right on the sacrum, not on the low back. Keep looking up to the sky with your head. You can keep your knees bent, you can extend the legs forward, and the arms can stay down or release overhead. And we're just going to stay here for a few deep breaths. And then bring those arms down by your side. Bend the knees. Try to use the pressing down of your feet to lift your hips and slide your block out from underneath you. And then just place those hips back down. Very nice. Let's open the arms out to the side. Tip both knees over to the left. Good. And we're going to turn the head to the right. And maybe that left hand can find the top of the right thigh. Only if both shoulders can stay released, grounded into the mat. Deep breaths in and out. Good, and then bring your knees back to center. Let's take the knees over to the right. Okay, we can turn the head to the left. Maybe the right hand rests on top of the left thigh, if that left shoulder and right shoulder can both stay grounded. Good, and now let's come back to center. We're going to hug both knees into your chest. And now we're going to come up to sit. So you have the option to rock up to sit or to roll to one side and find your way up to sit. So however you want to do it. Good, we'll make our way up to a seated position. And so let's go ahead and sit up on a blanket or a pillow or something that gives your pelvis just a little bit more height. Awesome. And we'll just find a nice cross-legged seat. And then once you find yourself sitting tall, let your sits bones just ground down, the crown of your head lift up, and you can close your eyes or find a soft downward gaze. From here, let's release our chin to our chest and roll the right ear over to the right shoulder. Good, let's take the left hand down beside the left hip and sweep your right arm up and over so that the right hand lightly rests onto the left ear. No pulling or forcing or anything that causes pain. Just a nice easy stretch.
let's release that right hand down. Take your chin to your chest. Roll your left ear over to your left shoulder. And then sweep the left arm up and over, and you can lightly rest that left hand onto the right ear this time, and the right hand comes down beside the right hip. Just a gentle sensation of stretch in through the side of the neck. Good, and then release that left hand down, release your chin to your chest. Take both hands onto your thighs. And we'll take 3 head circles around to the right. Easy, steady, keeping the jaw soft, the throat soft. Good, one more time in this direction. And then pause at center and take 3 circles to the left. Maybe you hear a couple little cracks and creaks, but nothing that feels any pain. And then again, just releasing the chin to the chest. Let's extend the hands out to the knees. Take a big full breath in. As you exhale, rock back and round out through the spine. Inhale, shift forward, bending your elbows, lift your chest. And exhale, rock back and round out through the spine. Again, inhale forward, lifting the chest. Exhale back, rounding out. All right, let's sit nice and tall. Sweep both arms up alongside your ears. Clasp your hands, flip the palms up towards the sky, and just stretch, lifting up the ribs, stretching up through the waist. Big full breath in. As you exhale, tip over to the right. Keep both hips grounding down. And maybe you'll turn to look underneath that left arm. Good, come back to center. And then tip it over to the left. Good, again, both hips grounding. You can turn to look underneath the right arm this time. Awesome, and then come back to center. Bring your hands behind your head. Bending the elbows, rest your head back into your hands, lift your chest, spread your elbows wide. And now let's take the right hand down and tip over to the right. You can look underneath the left elbow. A big full breath in. Exhale, round toward that right knee. Inhale, lift the elbow, turn the head, and exhale, round. Inhale, lift, opening up. Exhale, round it out one more time. Good. And now sweep both arms up alongside your ears, growing nice and tall. As you exhale, turn to the right. Place your right hand back behind you and cross your left arm over to the outside of the right thigh. Press into that right hand, grow super tall. And then as you exhale, press into the left hand to twist, turning the chest to the right. Let your head just be the last thing that arrives to the right so that we don't overtax into our lumbar spine. Good. From here, let's lift the right arm up alongside the right ear. Tip your left shoulder towards your left knee. Keep looking underneath that right arm. And then cross the right arm over. Find the outside of the left thigh. Release the chin to the chest and round into the upper back. Good, and let's sit tall. And now we're just going to bend the elbows and give yourself a hug. So see if you can really get those elbows crossed over each other by kind of crawling the hands onto the back. But keep the shoulders soft, keep the neck long. You can close your eyes here for just a little hug moment. hands down, shift to the back of your seat, and we're gonna switch the crossing of the legs. Bring your hands to your thighs and then slide the hands out to the knees. Take a big full breath in. Exhale, rock back and just round out through the spine. Inhale, shift forward, lift the chest up. Exhale, shift back and round it out. Inhale, forward, lift. Exhale, round it out. Very nice, everybody. Sit tall, sweep your arms all the way up. Good, and now let's take the right hand down and take a little deeper side bend over to the right. Keeping both hips grounded, look underneath that left arm. Good, and then come all the way back up to center. Arms up alongside the ears, and take the left hand down, tip it over to the left. Good, right hip just as grounded, and you can look underneath the right arm. Nice, and then coming all the way back up, reach your hands up, clasp your hands, bring the palms behind the head. Rest your head back, spread your elbows wide. Good, and now release your left hand down, tip it over to the left, and look up underneath that right elbow. Take a big full breath in. Exhale, round toward the left knee. Inhale, lift the elbow. Turning your head to look up, exhale, round. And now inhale, lift again. And exhale, round. Beautiful. Sweep both arms up alongside the ears, sitting super tall. And as you exhale, turn to the left. Place your left hand behind you, cross your right hand over. Press into the fingers, grow taller. Exhale, press into the right hand to turn the chest a little deeper. And let your head travel last. Good, let's lift the left arm up alongside the left ear and tip your right shoulder towards your right knee, coming into a little side bendy twist. Big full breath in here. Exhale, cross that left arm over, find the outside of the right thigh, rounding the back, releasing the chin to the chest. Good, and once again, sit tall, and once more find that hug. This time the left elbow's on top of the right, you're just trying to crawl the hands onto the back, close your eyes, or find a soft gaze, and just breathe into that hug. A hug just for you, from you. Good, and now let's sweep the arms out to the side once more. And place your hands down. Very nice, everybody. Let's come on to hands and knees. So you can roll over your shins, you can swing your legs around, whatever makes sense for you. And if you need a little extra padding underneath the knees, then please honor that need and take a blanket or an extra cushion of some kind. So we're gonna find wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, and start some circles around into those wrists and back into the knees. Just circles, easy. Weight into the hands, weight into the knees. Good, and let's circle the opposite direction. Excellent, come back to center. Take an inhale to lift the chest and tail, looking forward into your cow pose. Exhale, round through the back, cat pose. Inhale, arch, lift your chest and tail. Exhale, round. Good, one more time like that. Inhale, arch. And exhale, round. Good, and now we're gonna come back to center and extend the right leg back and just tuck the toes. The left arm is gonna go forward and we're just gonna come onto the fingertips of the left hand. So you can see it's like your fingers are tucked and your right foot is tucked. Ready? And now we're gonna inhale, lift, exhale, touch.
Inhale, lift. Exhale, touch. Good. Inhale, lift. Exhale, touch. And now let's inhale, lift, hold, breathe. Good, and then place the left hand down, place the right knee down, and just wag your hips a little from side to side. Good. Other side, extend your left leg back, toes tucked. Extend the right arm forward, but keep the fingertips down. And now as you inhale, lift the arm and leg. Exhale, touch. Inhale, lift. Exhale, touch. Inhale, lift. Exhale, touch. One more time, we're going to lift and hold. Good, and then place the right hand down, the left knee down, and wag those hips a little from side to side. Very nice, everybody. From here, let's extend the right leg back once more, tucking the toes. Spin your right heel down to the left and shift your weight into your left hand. And we're going to bring the right hand to the waist and start to turn the chest up to the right. Good. From here, once we get the chest turned, then the right arm can reach up and then your head can follow. Good. Stay super grounded into that right foot and start circling your right wrist. And circle the opposite direction. Good, circle your right arm, whole arm circles. Good, and then opposite direction. Nice, let's reach the right arm up, turn your right palm to face overhead and sweep that arm up and over. Really pressing through the right foot and reaching through your right fingers. Good, you can turn the chest underneath that right arm just a little bit. Keep pressing and supporting through the left hand. And then place the right hand down. And let's spin onto the ball of your right foot. From here, you have the option for this next, we're gonna do some thread the needle. If you wanna lower the right knee down, then go ahead. If you wanna keep the right leg extended back, that's an option too. Extend your left arm out to the side. And then we're going to exhale and just thread the left arm underneath and see if you can lower onto that left shoulder. If your left shoulder is not all the way down, try lowering the knee, try placing something underneath it. But if your left shoulder is not on the ground, keep your right hand down. We don't want to put too much weight into our head here, into our cervical spine. We really want that left arm to ground down and take over. Then, if you've got that ground, you can lift the right arm and wrap it around behind. Good, and if you're feeling adventurous, maybe the right leg floats up, maybe it doesn't. Good. And then just release that right hand down, unthread the left arm, and find hands and knees once more. Wag your hips a little from side to side. Awesome, and now let's do the other side. So extend your left leg back. Good, reach forward through the crown of your head. Really get some length through the body here. And then spin the left heel down. Shift into your right hand and bring your left hand to your waist. Start to first turn the chest up. And then we extend the arm. And then we turn the head. Good, grounding into that left foot, the right hand. Let's circle the left wrist. Other direction. Circle the left arm. Good, other direction. Nice, and then reach that left arm up towards the sky. Turn your left palm to face overhead, sweep the arm up and over. And you can turn your chest underneath the left arm just a little bit based on how your head, your neck, your chest all feel, your shoulders. Good, and then place the left hand down and spin onto the ball of your left foot.
So again, you can either keep the leg extended or lower the knee down. We're going to extend the right arm onto the side this time and thread that right arm under. And you can try coming onto the right shoulder this time on the right upper arm. Same rules apply. If your right arm doesn't find the ground, place something underneath it, but then only keep your left hand down. Don't lift the left arm up. From here, if your right arm is grounded, you can lift the left arm and wrap it around. And you can try floating the left leg, if that's available for you. Good, one more breath. Then we're going to release the left hand down, unthread your right arm, come back to hands and knees, and give those hips a little wag from side to side. Very nice, everybody. Let's take just a little cat and cow here, neutralizing through the spine. Good, and then separate your knees about as wide as your mat. Bring your big toes to touch. Shift your hips back towards your heels. Fold the torso forward, releasing your head down, your elbows soft. Deep breaths into the belly. From here, let's walk the torso over to the right. Keep the left arm grounded and shift your hips to the left. Get a little bit deeper stretch into the left side body. Good, and then come back to center. Walk it over to the left. Press into your right hand, shift your hips to the right, just opening through that whole right side. Good, and then again, back to center for just another couple of breaths. Awesome. Just walk the hands back, roll up through your spine, and you're going to make your way again onto your back. So you can swing your legs around. And you can get onto your back however you want. If you want to do like a slow, lower, you can take that, or you can just lay down. Totally up to you. Okay. And so when we get there, we're just going to find Shavasana. So let's let the legs extend forward, the arms out, and a little diagonal away from you. Feeling the ribs, breathe wide. Begin to feel the weight of the body. The weight through the back of your head, your shoulders, your elbows, the back of your hands, through your pelvis, your calves, your heels, all of the places that are touching the mat. Find weight, find ground. And then bringing the attention to the places that don't touch the mat, the places that have the natural curves. We want to support those with the breath. Imagining a cushion right underneath your neck, underneath your low back, underneath your knees, and underneath your ankles, and underneath the wrists. Just feeling that supportive cushion of breath so that they can release without threatening their natural support, their natural alignment. And then just bring your attention back to the belly, rising and softening with the breath.
permission to stay here on the breath, to release any drifting or wandering that may try to creep in. Instead, just finding a steady, calm attention for your Shavasana. Begin to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Let's bend the knees very carefully, placing the feet on the mat. And just extend your right arm overhead. Roll over onto your right side, again very carefully. Just taking a moment here. Let your left hand press down as you begin to roll up through the spine, coming all the way up to sit. And once more finding that tall seat, the sits bones grounded, the crown of the head just reaching up. Your eyes can close or find a soft downward gaze. And we notice what this practice has given us today. We notice the gift that we've given ourselves for coming to the mat, for connecting into a natural peace and ease that is within us all. Let's bring our palms together in front of our hearts, bowing our heads with gratitude for this practice, for this time together virtually, and for one another along this journey of life, supporting, uplifting, and loving one another. Namaste.